Good afternoon, everybody. This is day 9 of 14, and today is a good day. It's sunny, the walk is flat, my cold doesn't feel quite as bad as it did. Happy days. So, just a reminder why I decided to walk 177 miles in 2 weeks. So, various reasons. Number one, to raise funds for Share Rescue. They're a husky charity based in the UK. I have a Siberian husky called Kita. She didn't come from Share, but Kita's helped me through lots of tough times, so I do what I can to support Share Rescue. So, if you haven't already, have a look at my profile or the link below and donate if you can. That's number one. Number two, second reason is to inspire others. When we go through periods of serious ill health, whether that's mental health issues, an autoimmune disease, cancer, I've had all of those. So I really do know how it feels to deal with these things. And when we go through all of those things, we can often feel very overwhelmed, scared about what the future can hold. And more than anything, a lot of us worry about the future, but ultimately we have no idea what the future holds. Even tomorrow, we don't know. So after I had the all clear from breast cancer, I had a mastectomy and reconstruction. I was back to normal. I say normal as in working at my laptop. After about 10 days, I was back to driving on day 11 once the drains came out. I went back to, driving, walking Kita, doing 10 minutes of yoga and meditation every morning. And yes, I see the scars every day. Do they bother me? No, not in the slightest. Why? Because it just shows what a kick-ass person I am, and that I can handle whatever life throws at me, even if that includes health issues. So my message to you, if you have or are currently dealing with a serious illness, try not to let that cloud your future. Don't be constantly worrying about what if, because ultimately we don't know. And the more we get worried about the future, the less we can enjoy today. So that's my message to you today. So that was the second reason I'm doing the walk, to inspire others. The third reason is I personally believe I have a strong mindset. I have a growth mindset. I deal with challenges as they come. I try not to let them really get me down. And I'm always trying to push myself to be better and to push myself out of my comfort zone. Because if I can do things like this, okay, this is a bit extreme, I will admit, walking 177 miles, but anyway, if I can do things like this, then when I have those days where there are fairly, I'd say, minor challenges, I don't know, you get a flat tyre, your internet goes down, you forget to buy something for tea, fairly minor things, they won't worry you, because it's very minor in comparison to the things that I've dealt with before. So, yes, I believe I have a strong mindset. So I wanted to also do this walk to push myself. I'll give you another example of how slightly crazy I am, but that's fine. This time last year, I drove to the Czech Republic on my own in my sports car. Why? My son moved out there a few years ago, I hadn't seen him for quite a long time because of COVID, and then of course I had my, as I call it, my inconvenience of breast cancer to deal with. So every June, because June the 14th is my birthday, I always try to do something a little bit kind of something different, you know, out of the box thinking, just to kind of, to push myself. So last year I drove to the Czech Republic. I loved every minute of it. And when I tell people things like, oh, I did that, or I'm doing this walk and whatever. Oh, I went paragliding as well. Not recently, a couple of years ago, I went paragliding. And when people say, oh, I couldn't do that. Yes, you could. Everybody could do it if you wanted to. You can push yourself, even in the tiniest way. As I say to people, for those who perhaps are not very active because of their ill health, and you can drive, get in your car, drive to a local park or woods or whatever, get out the car, go for a 5-minute walk. Then just sit, sit on a bench somewhere, just let your mind kind of clear a little bit. And I always find that when I'm away from home, whether it's doing crazy things like this or going on holiday or whatever it is, that's when I can think more clearly. Because very often when we're in the middle of doing all of the things, running a business, looking after kids, grandchildren, working, whatever it is, we're kind of too close to it. And we often can't see the other options or the other ideas. So that's why it's also really good to get out. It's good for your physical well-being. It is definitely good for your mental well-being. Just to get away from that kind of stressed, overwhelmed situation. Now, if you have children and things, I know that's not easy. But what you can do is, once they've gone to bed, just go sit for 5 minutes, if that's all you can manage. Go sit, have a cup of tea, glass of wine, whatever your favourite is. Read a book. Just kind of disconnect a little bit. Don't watch telly. I'm one of these. I don't watch much telly. I would much rather be, I would say walking, but clearly I can't do that at, 12 o'clock at night. But I love to read. I love to watch webinars and things. I follow quite a few mentors online. Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Peter Sage. He's awesome. If you haven't heard of him before, go on YouTube, put in Peter Sage. He's British, but he lives in Tenerife, and he will absolutely tell you as it is. There's no diplomacy from him, but that's sometimes what we need. A real big push into the right direction. So just try and kind of just take 5 minutes, if that's all you can do. Start with that, gradually build it up, and just take time for yourself. As they always say, if you don't look after yourself first, you then can't look after other people. Whether that's husband, parents, children, whatever. Because as I'm sure you've heard, when you go on an aeroplane, and if there's a lack of pressure and the oxygen masks fall down, they always say put it on yourself first before you help anybody else. And that really applies in general day-to-day living as well. Because if you don't put yourself first, not in like a kind of selfish, kind of pompous way, but if you don't put your physical and mental health first, then you can't help others. Just breaking in a little bit. While on this walk today, which like I said is absolutely marvellous, I have seen lots of swans. Look, there's another one. I've seen lots of swans today. They just look at, there's another metaphor for life. And often we say that we're kind of quiet and peaceful on the surface, but underneath, paddling like hell to keep going. Yeah, I think that's what swans do. Anyway, so yes, just take a bit of time, look after yourself. Because I've had time, to really kind of clear my head a little, when I go home, I'm going to be creating some new ebooks and things for online, because I specialise in helping business owners dealing with serious ill health. Why? Because I've been there. I've got the t-shirt and everything else that goes with it. So I know what it feels like to have to deal with all of these things. I had a systemic autoimmune disease, I think it was like 7-8 years ago now. And I completely reversed all of my very, very serious symptoms by making big dietary and lifestyle changes. So and obviously I've been through breast cancer years ago. I've had my fair share of mental health issues, I can assure you. So that's why I specialise in helping business owners dealing with serious ill health, because I know what it's like. So yes, when I get back, I'm going to write some new programs. I'm really keen to start my monthly membership program, so I'll be working on that. So I think really my message to you is this: don't let serious ill health cloud your future. Find others, online mentors that have been through similar things, and let them guide you, because they've lived through it. Also remember, look after yourself first before you look after everybody else. And just try and get out. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, if you're fit, go do a 10-mile hike or something. Whatever is in your capabilities, but also it's good to push yourself a little bit, because that's how we succeed in the future. So there's my messages for today. It's a good day, the sun is shining, the walk is flat. I've seen lots of swans and a heron as well, and ducks. And yeah, there's my message for today. Day 9 of 14. We're getting there. And remember, if you haven't donated, go to the page and give a donation to Share Rescue, would be great. And take care, everybody, and I will see you all soon, further down the walk. Bye bye.